Recorder. The UMN acts as a recording medium, holding every incident and every phenomenon in this world as permanent records. Porters are agent-like AIs that exist in order to maintain and preserve those records. Porters, known by the government-run UMN management agency, usually manage an individual's information, whereas corporations usually have their own proprietary porters manage their company records. The term porter is an encompassing name for any AI that behaves autonomously within the network. For example, mail traffic is regulated as a type of AI called the mail porter. There are many different functions for porters, as there are businesses modeled practiced on the net. Power loader. A humanoid machine used to carry heavy loads inside the Waglende. It is a standard issued labor machinery used throughout the Federation. Some of them are equipped with a flamethrower on the right arm. Whoa, go out. There you go. Procurator. An agent-like AI which extracts the services from the UMN and is requested by the user. A procurator is essential in order to navigate through the UMN's vast information network. It manages most of the routine work related to the UMN in place of the user. For example, the task of sending and receiving mail is overseen by one type of AI called the mail porter. But having a procurator act as a go-between for the user and the mail porter, the user can send and receive mail by simply instructing the procurator without having to deal with the mail porter. The environmental simulator and database can also be used via the procurator through a specific plugin, though a specific plugin is necessary. Usually instructions to the procurator are given vocally, but some complex operations require the use of a keyboard. A smaller procurator resides within mobile units such as the connection gear. Vector's line of connection gear, the Rio series, also contained a procurator named Ainge. Incidentally, Xion has replaced this procurator with another which she created, Bunny. That explains Xion's little bunny thingy. Reactor room. The room where Waglende's main propulsion systems are located, equivalent to an engine room. Realian. This is going to be long. An artificial human. A wonder of molecular bioengineering, its biological composition comes in various forms based on a need, from carbon-based duplicates of real humans to those based on silicon or liquid metal. Many of the Realians on board the Waglende were made by Vector, and they are hybrid models with carbon-silicon base. Since the Miltian conflict, the alteration of the Realians' emotions is no longer allowed. The only exceptions are the Realians in the military or other dangerous occupations, such as terraforming. Their basic rights equal those of humans and are recognized by law. However, due to the fact that their minds are initialized with a slight bias, all Realians tend to display similar personality traits. This bias is applied not only for the purpose of preventing criminal behavior by Realians, but also consideration of humans who may feel threatened by their superiority, albeit only to certain specialized skills. Several companies manufacture Realians, but Vector makes the basic program, in other words, the central nervous system of all Realians. This program is essentially a black box, and any modification beyond regular maintenance and adjustments can be only performed by Vector. Real mode. No, why don't you do that? Whoops. Yeah, well. Real mode. A procedure where data on the Gnosis is incorporated into a combat simulation. Recycler. Individuals who salvage space wreckage to sell, sometimes after fixing them up, to brokers. Laws governing this type of activity vary from state to state, but in general it's considered illegal. Matthews and his crew engage in recycling as a side business. Reload. Normally refers to the act of putting a new round of ammunition into the gun. However, here it means to replenish the power source. Second Miltia, planetary capital of the current Miltian autonomous state government. The planet is 13,100 and 200 kilometers in diameter, with a gravity ratio of 1.03. It is only recently terraformed, so it still has an abundance of forests. And atmosphere-generating nanomachines within the ocean are still active, causing the planet to appear light green from space. Shion's parents' home is located here. Part of Cosmos' combat equipment. It allows for the exchange of parts such as body frame and armor. Secondary equipment. Sinir, a planet member of the Galaxy Federation. Judging from what Trenkov said, there seems to be a facility on this planet linked to the UTIC organization. Seraphim Sisters, the object of Matthew's adoration. Their name suggests that they are a female vocal duo. Shion Uzuki, TC 4745, 22 years old. Assigned to Vector's Industry 1st R&D Division at the age of 18 in TC 4763. Her official title is Chief Engineer of the Cosmos Project General Operations System Research Center, Vector Industries' 1st R&D Division. Although 2 years younger than Alan, Shion is a year his senior in the corporate hierarchy of Vector. Although she appears clumsy at times, she's actually quite athletic. In particular, her high kicks are powerful enough to render a grown man unconscious. She apparently also wields a jujitsu-like technique passed on from her grandfather, but unfortunately this skill does not appear in this episode. I don't even know when it appears in the whole game. SOCE, Subcommittee on Close Encounters, a panel of researchers convened by the Federation government in TC 4754 to counter the Gnosis phenomena. While it's called a subcommittee, it has over 2,000 members representing government agencies, corporations, and various scientific fields. Its operational core are 7 members, each of whom hold high positions in the Federation. Julie Mizrahi, Momo's creator, is one of the 7 members. Yeah, she was said to have created it. Species Preservation Act, a law enacted in order to revive the human race, which had degenerated due to the harmful effects of the Life Recycling Act. The purpose behind this legislation was to preserve and propagate a pure breed of humans that was untouched by genetic engineering, cloning, or organ enhancements. It has also strove to restore the original genetic code that had been altered by the Life Recycling Act. Due to the fact that enforcement is left to the discretion of each autonomous state, there is a pointed lack of standardization and the effectiveness across the multitude of jurisdictions. Target drone, a drone used as target in battle simulations. Togashi, born TC 4745, 22 years old, a younger colleague of Alan. Togashi joined Vector's 1st R&D division right after the incident in which Cosmos went out of control. He finds great satisfaction in giving his mentor Alan a hard time. His hobby is judo, and he is in love with Miyuki. Maybe. Tony, born TC 4738, 29 years old. Pilot of the passenger cargo ship Elsa. Normally handsome and debonair, he completely changes when he's in the pilot seat. To his credit, though, he is in fact a brilliant pilot, having saved Elsa from countless perils. Definitely a ladies' man. He sure is. He just sweet-talked Shion not too long ago. Too close to fire the cannons. In zero-gravity space warfare, a basic rule of engagement is to take into account the possibility of incurring damage to oneself via debris from the destroyed target. During the story, an officer exclaims, "We're too close to fire the cannons," because the Gnosis were too close to the ship and could not be fired upon the fear of debris damaging the ship, although it sure looked like they were firing those things with reckless abandon. Trade column. The UMN's columns are divided into separate routes according to their use. The trade column is a route used mainly by cargo and passenger vessels. During the story, Ziggy chose to navigate through this particular column in hopes that heavy traffic will interfere with the pursuer's tracking system. Yeah, maybe. A transfer system, a material transport technique which utilizes a unique feature of the UMN. Its usage is fairly common in this age. However, transference of materials with an amorphous network information, that is, living organisms, is considered virtually impossible. This is due to the serious impact of such transference has on actual information contained within these living networks, such as personality and biological functions. Transference of live organisms require a protective shield, and due to the size of which shield generating systems, it would in turn require the use of a vehicle, like a space vessel. This explains why Matthew's ship is both a passenger and cargo ship. Yay?